to the presidential race, with President Trump recovering from COVID-19, resuming campaign appearances, and overnight his doctor saying he is no longer at risk of transmitting coronavirus to others.
With just 23 days to go, President Trump emerging from the White House balcony, taking off his mask to briefly address a crowd of hundreds.
First of all, I'm feeling great. I don't know about you. How's everyone feeling?
In his first public event since testing positive for COVID-19, still insisting the virus will one day disappear.
It's going to disappear. It is disappearing, and vaccines are going to help, and the therapeutics are going to help a lot.
And just 2 weeks after a cluster of coronavirus cases were traced to this Rose Garden ceremony, Saturday on the South Lawn, hundreds standing shoulder to shoulder once again. All attendees were required to bring a face mask, this time many choosing to wear it, others taking theirs off as the president spoke. 5 days out of the hospital, the president seen with bandages on his hands. Overnight, the White House releasing this memo from the president's doctor, saying Trump is no longer considered a transmission risk to others and is clear to return to an active schedule. His campaign already pressing forward with back-to-back rallies this week.
He's going to do all those and a lot more. Honestly, the president is the one that's challenging us to make sure that we have the schedule ready to go.
But as the president makes his return to the campaign trail, he's down in the polls and facing growing questions about his business dealings. A New York Times report painting a picture of a president who once promised to drain the swamp, reportedly turning his own hotels and resorts into the Beltway's new back rooms. ABC News has not independently verified the documents obtained by the Times, but the report shows more than 200 companies, groups, and foreign governments patronizing Trump properties at a time when his personal empire was struggling financially. Meanwhile, the president's rival, Joe Biden, is now leading by 12 points nationally, according to our latest ABC News Washington Post poll. But Biden's still dodging questions on whether he'll pack the Supreme Court by adding more justices to the bench.
The only court packing is going on right now. It's going on with Republicans packing the court now. It's not constitutional what they're doing.
Well, come on, Joe. The American people deserve a straight answer.
And in our latest ABC News Washington Post poll, 58% of registered voters disapprove of the president's handling of the pandemic, but the economy is still a bright spot for President Trump, with the majority of voters still approving of his handling on that front. And when you compare it to the pandemic, nearly twice as many voters say that the economy is their single most important issue. Rachel Scott, ABC News, Washington.
Tomorrow, the Senate begins confirmation hearings for President Trump's nominee to replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the Supreme Court. But because of COVID-19, the Judiciary Committee hearing will be at least partially virtual. Already, at least 2 members have tested positive for the coronavirus, Senators Tom Tillis and Mike Lee. Then you have other senators like Chuck Grassley and Lindsey Graham, who chairs the committee. Both have refused to get tested for the coronavirus, so now all members have the option of appearing in person or remotely. Monday will serve as the introduction, but on Tuesday, senators have their first real chance to question Judge Amy Coney Barrett. The back and forth over mail-in ballots continues just days before early voting is set to begin. Yesterday, a federal appeals court granted a temporary administrative stay allowing enforcement of Governor Abbott's order limiting mail-in ballot drop-off locations to 1 per county. On Friday, a federal judge ruled the limit was unfair to voters. The governor was in Dallas yesterday for a Get Out the Vote event with Republican volunteers and supporters from across the state. He also made a stop at Fair Park for the Red River Showdown. I guess that's all the cheering there. All right, there you go, cheering on Texas from the sidelines. Guess he was there for a while, huh? Mail-in voting is already underway, and the first day of early voting in Texas is Tuesday. Any registered voter can vote early, and it is recommended this year with long ballots that will take a little time and long lines expected on Election Day. You can vote at any early voting location in your county. If you're still deciding when and where to vote, we put a guide together to help you out. Just text the word VOTE to 214-977-6028. Once again, that number is 214-977-6028. Text that number, text the word VOTE, and we'll send you the WFAA voter guide right to your phone. Again, that's VOTE to 214-977-6028. And just remember, early voting starts on Tuesday.